So I usually hold my tongue, my frustration for the business and roster construction part of the Cowboys side and how they do things. I really wanted this channel to focus on the schematic and analysis side. But honestly, what Jerry is doing and how he's going about handling the contract situation for our key players such as CD, Micah, and most importantly, Dak, in my opinion, is utterly dumb and stupid. Why do I believe this? Let's start with the other side. I understand the other side of the argument being that he's a businessman and, the Jones is a, business family oriented and that's how they handle their day-to-day decisions. And they're used to making, such an astronomical amount of money at a godly rate. So when you're at this point, nobody can tell you nothing. I understand it. I completely understand it. And this method they've been trying it works so well that even the common fan, most would believe if we was to switch places, we'll be doing the same exact thing in the same exact fashion. And to that angle, I would say no. I wholeheartedly believe that this is completely unsustainable. First of all, greed is at the center of all of this. And I believe that's where we were going wrong, especially, we can go into the whole politics sort of thing. I just believe you should get to a point where enough is enough. And there's a reason why, greed is a deadly sin. As cliche as it sounds, it's very contagious. And at the end, it's always unfulfilling. Like I said, enough is enough. So yes, I understand controversy sells. I understand people gravitate towards the negative negative connotations and everything like that, but you can't convince me that also winning sells too. It may not be to the same extreme, but like I said, that's the difference between me and the Joneses. I will be fine making 2 times versus the 4 times. This is the off season where the Joneses should have realized that they're playing a dangerous game with this controversy cycle and scheme, because let's go over it. The Green Bay loss, the unwillingness to pay your key guys, your guys that are the selling points, jerseys, fandom, etc. Whether, of course, the main guys, CD, Micah, and Dak. All of this is a culmination of coming together to be the perfect storm that can really derail a fan base if this is any other fan base. Yep, you know what I'm saying? So this is the lowest that Cowboy fans' morale has ever been, and we've been talking about this entire offseason, and we've seen that in full effect, and I believe it's hurting your bottom line when you went into training camp, and the training camp of America's team is usually bumping, it's completely empty. You know what I'm saying? So no one is buying this. The fact that just continue, why do you think this is sustainable? Having your key guys, you do a whole smear campaign where you try to disrupt their image by pulling out whether it be hidden truths, lies, etc., and then leaving them out for the wolves in the media to constantly depict them and drive down the morale, and then drive down the overall the security, the mental security of the locker room, because their main captains and guys and leaders are not here, and it's obviously due to business side. And what do you think is setting for the future boys and girls in your fan club, or who's coming up in the draft a couple of years from now? The future franchise players you may draft, they're seeing this now, and news to you, the newer generation, they only gonna get smarter and smarter and smarter, and we're already seeing it on how these negotiations are handled. They're no longer doing the long contract, they're doing the short. You see the adaptations that are happening. So, and mainly Dak, that's what was really pissing me off, in my opinion. The fact that you spent a 4th round pick on an innocent being Trey Lance, who's somebody who's former 1st round pick, but you got him because his contract looked good, and those are direct shots to Dak because this is in the middle of his negotiation. And the utter audacity, you driving the fan base in half, allowing the mainstream media to pick apart and like crows like at Dak to constantly ask these goofy questions. Like it is a goofy question. I can't believe it. I was arguing with one of my subscribers, I believe it was a month and a half ago. He was literally in my, comments in my video telling me that Trey Lance is going to be better than Dak. Cooper Rush has been better than Dak. The conversations that we had to be had in, Cowboys land is utterly ridiculous, right? Trey Lance is a good guy, and I believe he's a good quarterback. He's just not fully developed yet, and we're over here overanalyzing him because you threw him out there to the wolves. And this kind of emphasis on a guy just to smear Dak, utterly dumb, because it's affecting the entire team. Now, these are some of the ways that it obviously affected the team. The preseason is for an evaluation, and with this preseason, the Cowboys have did something that's utterly out of the ordinary. A lot of the other QB2s in the league get a combined, shout out to Jay Tuck in CFO Sports, he said it, they get a combined 15 passes for the all 3 games, while we're giving Trey Lance 50 passes. And it's just utterly ridiculous how we're literally catering the whole entire game plan to him. While we're doing that, we're not getting a full evaluation of the run game. We're not getting a full evaluation of receivers. We're not getting a full evaluation on the tight end room. We desperately need to find a tight end too, a wide receiver 3, a wide receiver 4. And now, what about the guys who got invited to your camp and you pull this circus clown of a political influence on the Dallas, on the game, being catering to them? Now some of them can't get reps, and now their entire career may be skewed because they already had like a year and a half, and we over here dealing with nonsense and you playing petty games and trying to get back at Dak. And you're doing this all to fund the wheel and make money. I find this, I don't care how much money you are making, this is utterly stupid. There's the graph of how this can benefit you and how it's benefiting the team. There's going to become a tipping point in this. This is not sustainable. Not even to mention, like, in the middle of this, you still haven't paid CD, who's more than earned his money, and by not doing that, you keeping him here. You over here got an excuse out the ass every time, throwing shades and shots at him when he's been innocent, stayed out the way. Now we can't evaluate the receivers. Like I said, we can't get valuable reps with the first team going into the season. Now we're going to be a step behind in every other offense. We got to wait to game 4 and 5 before we get that, and we got to, not to mention injury prevention. I know he's been working out, but there's a difference between working out with your training staff and with the team training staff, getting game, rep influence, getting your body accustomed to that. That's a different feel. We're not getting none of that, and that just tells me that Jerry, you don't care about this team. You don't. I really feel bad for that. It's showing that you utterly don't care, because all of this you're going to throw back around when it's time to pay the next guy, because you're doing this is going to affect the team's success. Obviously, you're going to be mad. You're going to be in the media just to go back again, because this is literally increasing our chances to fail in the postseason when you do stupid, dumb, goofy shit like this. I'm not even going to be honest. Excuse my language, but when you do this, because it comes back to bite you in the end. We over here playing little games. That's what I mean. It's so hard for us to stay optimistic, because we have to overcome so much dumb and goofiness that we have to deal with. I wish, like, after the 90s, you would have sold a team and went into another field, or I don't know, industry. Go to oil, go to gas. I don't know. Leave my sports team out of this, because it was a point after. Make no mistake, the Cowboys is the most iconic, team of all time. But there was a point where enough wasn't enough for you. There was a point where the Cowboys organization, there was ambition, just the aura of ambition flowing through the entire building, and it went in and out, and it resulted in championships in the 90s. But I believe the tipping point is when you let you let your pride get in the way and you fire Jimmy. And I believe, history repeats itself, and here you go doing it again, putting your hand in this and getting it's a continuous cycle. So my question to you, because that's unsustainable, how long do you believe Cowboys fans will play your game, fill your pockets, progress your stock, defend your legacy, or just suffer? That's this whole situation with Dak has got me feeling this way. Look, man, that's been my time. Shout out to everyone who's been here. Shout out to all the subscribers. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. We got more content, more live shows coming. We still them same boys, man. Until next time, peace.